Good afternoon, everyone. This is Katie Novotny calling in from Premier Marketing. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day, getting ready for this 4th of July long weekend to join us. Today, we're so excited. Today, we're going to talk about claims. As a lot of you know, we send out various marketing materials to clients, agents, and all of the above. But I think at the end of the day, this is just a great call as a reminder of what we do matters, and this is how it matters and where we're seeing our carriers be impacted. So with that, I have Deborah Giroux from Mutual of Omaha, who is head of our long-term care claim department, and she's going to review some information and also go over some stuff that they've recently come up with on the findings and utilization of our long-term care policies. So with that, Deborah, you ready to take it away?
I sure can. We'll give it a shot today. Thank you everyone for joining. My name is Deborah Giroux and here to talk about, when a customer actually files a claim. And hopefully you'll leave today with a little bit more education on how we can educate our customers at the time they purchase a policy, but also if they contact you along the way, which is something that we find more often than not, that they'll contact you on when they are ready to file a claim. So I'll start it off with a little bit about our claims operation and process, then talk about our marketing material and some claim initiatives, and certainly I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. So we are certainly not the largest long-term care carrier. However, we are a growing block of business, and we have 3 supervisors who actually have a span of control of around 9 benefit claim specialists underneath them. And those benefit claim specialists are the key relationship builder, and they develop the contents of the file. They'll stay with our customers through the life of the claim. We have a very tenured workforce. We find that when people come on board to Mutual of Omaha, they stay with us. We believe of late it's due to us offering a full-time remote work environment. We are not being mandated to go back into our office. We can if we want to. I find that most of the staff want to stay at home. We also have 4 licensed RNs who help us with the medical components of a file. They also can serve as care coordinators. They can work with families to develop a plan of care. And also they can actually do the tax qualified certifications. As you know, the qualified plans require a yearly certification. So rather than our customers going out to their doctors again, we can do that in-house, and we generally just call for information. We get updates, and those licensed RNs can certify the customers on an ongoing basis. Like other insurance companies, we have doctors as well. So on those really complex claims that we need doctors to weigh in on the medical components, we utilize them and reach out to them on a regular basis. We have a dedicated call center, and the customers that call in with general policy questions that can be answered pretty quickly, to let our benefit claim specialists focus on other more complex tasks. They're bilingual, again, a tenured staff. We find that the career path, generally someone may start out in the long-term care call center and move their way up to a benefit claim specialist. A little bit about, again, what I said about the benefit claim specialist, very important role. They own the claim and they are responsible for obtaining all of the facts needed for a claim file. As far as file development, they'll request the medical information and they'll also explain the policy eligibility. Our customers generally forget what they purchased, so a lot of it is education upfront to determine if they would indeed qualify for the benefits or wait until they're medically qualified. They work in tandem with the nurse. While the nurse is not the claim owner, they work really on the medical aspects of the claim. They're able to assist our customers developing individualized plan of care. They also can help the customer if the customer wants someone to provide care, but they're not licensed or registered. Our nurses will actually help find them caregiver training so they potentially could meet the policy qualifications. We also have the nurses ensure that the appropriate type and amount of services is received. And again, I spoke about the recertification process. And how can you help? And this is where hopefully we can share some information on education, really understanding the difference between instrumental activities of daily living and activities of daily living. Um, Anytime a customer calls and they're filing a claim for homemaker, meal services, transportation, we have to explain that that's not covered under the policy. And that causes disappointment, and that can cause a breakdown in communication when we're saying we don't cover that. So anytime that you can really explain the difference to the customers, what activities of daily living are as defined by the policy, hopefully that will help them understand that the policy speaks to having a functional loss of something, and whether that's bathing or dressing, or they have a severe cognitive impairment, that will help them file the claim at the most appropriate time. We always like to see the claim earlier in the elimination period because we know we want to have that decision by the end of that elimination period. The more we can spend time to educate on Medicare, what I've learned over the years is that Medicare is sort of a forgotten benefit, which we all pay into. And we see customers that have eligible expenses that should go to Medicare and not to us. We want to preserve their benefit on items that's covered by the policy. So educating on Medicare will cover, grab bars, some durable medical equipment, dialysis equipment. So understanding from a customer perspective that there are times where we have to ask the customer to file it through Medicare, and that can cause a lot of confusion because at the time they're filing a claim, we're asking them to go ahead and file something else to Medicare, and that is a lot of paperwork, and we want to try to avoid that. We also can only discuss certain information unless we have that third-party authorization, which is available. In the claim packet, we mail a third-party authorization out on all of our new notices, and also have that form available to you. So once a customer decides who they would like us to communicate with, we're happy to do so. And any questions you have for any of us, we want to know what those questions are. And, I can certainly be reached at deborah.giroux@mutualofomaha.com. You can email me your question. You can call. As you can imagine, I can't answer hypothetical questions. That's not fair to anyone without knowing the entirety of all the facts, but I'll certainly help you with some policy provisions if you have any questions. And this is just a little bit about the third-party authorization. And if a customer contacts you, this is the information that we hope they'll have for us. How to initiate a claim. And I can make this presentation available for you after, so you don't have to screen print or jot this information down. We do delineate between policies issued prior to 2004 and after. The reason is we have two claims systems, and we no longer sell policies prior to 2004. That's our closed block of business. And our open block of business is administered through a vendor. So we actually have the vendor system, but we retain all decision making on files. And once that call comes in or we're notified that a customer wants to start a claim, the benefit claim specialist gathers the full story. We review policy requirements, we send out claim forms, we request caregiver facility information from physicians, and once that information starts to come in, that's when we tap into our RNs and care coordinators to assist us with the claim. All of our new claims go through a daily triage process, and it's a roundtable or collaboration where I'm involved, the supervisor, the nurse, and the benefit claim specialist. And we take a look at the holistic view of the customer. We have the policy information, the customer's medical information, the customer story. We match it all up and make a claim decision. If the claim decision is not favorable, we do have a reassessment process. And I can talk a little bit about that more in some forward slides. And we actually look at the customer's condition to determine when we may need to follow up. And you're probably wondering, sometimes people go, "Why is my claim taking so long?" Well, there's a number of different factors that play into that. That HIPAA form is probably the most important form that we can get. The sooner we get that back, that allows us to request information, or the forms are not returned timely. And medical records. We find out about medical records through medical or other medical providers through medical records. So if a customer forgets who they may have seen or treated or forgets a doctor, that can cause delays. So I'll give you an example. If we have a claim for a cognitive impairment, and at the onset of the claim, the customer doesn't remember seeing a neurologist, but we later find out in the primary care doctor's records that the customer did indeed see a neurologist, well, that's going to delay the process because we would need to see the neurologist records to understand the cognitive impairment. And along the way, when we, make that claim decision, we will approve the benefits. We do require invoices. So the sooner we can get those invoices, apply the days towards the elimination period, and get that payment out the door, we certainly want to do so. We also follow up based on the progression of the condition. So, the difference with the cognitive impairment, once we establish that they've met the severe cognitive impairment, we may not follow up on that condition for 6 to 9 months. But if someone suffers a hip fracture, we're going to want updates because they could recover, where in the first case, they might not ever recover. Reasons why we do not accept liability on a claim. With a qualified plan, they have to meet the activities of daily living and for a period of 90 days. Some people do recover within those 90 days. Another reason why is really the elimination period is not satisfied. Some people actually pass away in the elimination period. No eligible services are in place, non-duplication of benefits, or the premiums lapsed. And then lastly, the facility or type of care is not appropriately licensed. If we do not approve a claim, the customer always has the right to provide new information, which we consider a reconsideration. And we consider an appeal something in writing with no new information that affords us an opportunity to have someone new and different look at that file. And our marketing material is really been recently revised. We're very proud of the marketing material that I will show you. We actually took real customers. We changed the name, but we really are honing in on, the best way to understand a long-term care claim is our customers telling the story. And every customer has a story, whether it's a chronic event or acute event. The better we understand what happened, the timelier we can make decisions and gather information. Here is some of the claims collateral that is available to you to help you when you are talking with our customers firsthand, agent information, how the policy works, our promises, and some claim statistics. Here are the 4 stories. The first story is about someone that had a life expectancy of less than 6 months. So he used his policy to get home health care and hospice end-of-life services. The next story was a gentleman that suffered a stroke, and he and his wife used the care coordination provision to help locate adult daycare when she had to go back to work. The cash benefit, which is a rider on our modern block of claims, which is the block that we're selling, they wanted the cash benefit, which gave his wife the flexibility to manage his care and pay for the services that he needed. And knee replacement surgery, Marilyn used her policies for services when she needed to get back on her feet and recover. So our nurses were able to find her a home healthcare agency. Some statistics about our block of business. I thought I would start off with the Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom premiered in 1963. I was going to use that as a quiz question, but it still exists today. We're very proud of that. We first sold our long-term care policy in 1987. We pay over 10 million every month. We find that women need care more than men. Our average age is around 78. Our youngest customer is 46. We have actually 3 customers who are 105 years old. And longest paid claim is for the vascular disease. And we are different in the industry. Actually, in the next percentage, our customers still prefer to stay at home. And I've double checked this because um, someone had reached out to me saying, well, other insurance companies are reporting that most care is in assisted living and facility and nursing homes. And I was like, nope, I double checked it. Our block of business is still saying that over half is preferred to stay at home. And that could certainly be due to the pandemic. Industry's trends that are the claims are growing exponentially. We are absolutely seeing an increase in people filing claims. We are noting staffing shortages, so we will call for information, and they simply don't have the resources sometimes to answer our question, which has not caused significant delays. However, our nurses can certainly help bridge that gap by speaking with someone in a nurse role versus someone in the office at the facilities. We found over first quarter a slight uptick in people going into facilities, and what we learned was that people were being called to go back into the office. Medical conditions appear to be more severe, and that could be that some of our customers did not go and seek health care during the height of the pandemic. We still get the pandemic inquiries, those what ifs. People with COVID, the comorbidity claims that people file a claim for one thing but end up getting COVID. And we have paused on the in-home assessments, sometimes called benefit eligibility assessments. The nurses that would go into someone's home, we have not done those since the pandemic. We have someone that can do them. We just have chose not to bring them back due to the safety and health of our customers. In lieu of doing that, we have requested medical records, which we find tells the better story. Some of our initiatives for this year, ongoing long-term care presentations to, again, provide education. We will have, and our marketing department is producing a customer claims testimonial. So our customers will call in, share with us our experience, and now they're willing to put it on a video. That will be shared with you, so you can share that with customers. We are moving to a new claim system, so we will have all our claims on one claim system, which is very exciting for us because that is going to create a better customer experience by having a claim system. It's just going to be easier to file the claim, have online portals. So we are definitely coming up to the technology phase. We are piloting a concierge service, so basically pre-claim intervention. Our nurses are willing to talk to any customers who are not ready to file a claim and assist them with education information, such as, um, locating services in their communities, such as social events, meal delivery, if they need transportation. So our nurses can help them if they are at that instrumental activities of daily living phase, but they're not ready to file a claim. Call one of our nurses. They're happy to provide some of the resources available in their community. Some of our claims experience. I find it fascinating that in this phase of someone's life, they can actually they think of calling us and letting us know how our customers experienced a positive experience with us. Um, I can say that it's not always good. I need to know about those experiences in order to improve our claims experience. And this really struck me as amazing when, again, a customer takes the time to sit down and type something. And this is, it's a horrible situation. The customers experience a memory decline, and they're thanking us for delivering on our promise. It's it really is. It's extremely rewarding, and our claims team is. They're different from short-term or long-term disability benefit claim specialists. Our benefit claim specialists do have to be very patient, empathetic, and also hold steadfast to the policy. So it does take us longer to explain policy provisions just by the nature of who is calling in. That is the end of the presentation. Didn't know if anyone had any questions.
Deborah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to type them in and we can address them. One question was regarding the elimination of the in-home interviews. How are you continuing to do the cognitive screen, or is that becoming something you do over the phone?
Great question. The severe cognitive impairment is often difficult to assess. And what we have learned is it's actually through medical records, we're able to um, obtain a medical history. So an example would be that if someone is having a memory decline, it's going to be noted by their primary care doctor. And as it worsens, they're going to be referred to a neurologist. So we actually get a better snapshot through the medical records versus the one-time assessment. So the one-time assessment is just that moment in time, and it's an observation. The doctors know the patient. And so we found that if we order like medical records from a year ago, we're going to see it outlined perfectly in medical records. Short-term memory deficits, daughters reporting mom's forgetting things. And then it just starts like, okay, then let's try Aricept or let's try medications. We see it much more clearly in medical records.
Perfect. Another one is really good. It says, what is the brokerage support line and contact info? So to answer that, that can be two things. One is we do have, maybe you have the slide for the underwriting pre-qualification, and then you're always welcome to call here at Premier, and we can also help you with any kind of case design or pre-qualification as well. But Deborah, do you have that slide again that we can post
You mean for the contact numbers? Oh,
for the
sure.
contact information? Yes.
Absolutely. And I know that Amanda can probably get the underwriting guidelines as well to
Perfect.
you.
And I can send those out as well. We have the new PDF.
Okay, great.
Another question that is the length of time in order to have a claim paid. Do we have an average?
The time payment date, I would say up to 10 days, and it depends on a number of factors. So if someone has satisfied their elimination period and we have invoices, payments can be rendered fairly quickly in a couple of days, whether it's mailed in or faxed in or emailed in. So, but up to 10 days, depending on if we need to verify. So if someone has been hospitalized, we have to check the policy for bed reservation. If they don't have bed reservation, was it covered by Medicare? So it really depends on the complexity of the invoice. So it can take a couple of days to up to 10. I hope I answered that question, the person that asked.
Okay. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm kind of looking here. But the question about having the presentation, yes, this copy of the presentation will be sent out to everyone along with the recording.
Mhm.
And we will be scheduling a follow-up call too, a little more in depth than in collecting some inquiries up front so we can address those with Deborah. So with that, Deborah, I think we've covered everything. I really appreciate everyone's time today. I know we're all getting ready for a big long holiday weekend, so I do appreciate you joining us. And Deborah, as always, thank you for the wonderful information. So helpful.
My
And
pleasure.
we,
Absolutely.
we appreciate everyone's time and wish everyone a happy, happy holiday. So we will talk to you soon. Thank you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.